Good morning, I'm Colin Thomas. I'm an Averitt driver, and this is my first week of starting these videos. I just want to tell you what it's like to be an Averitt driver, what kind of money I'm making out here, what kind of routes I'm running. I run out of the Knoxville Service Center in Tennessee. This morning, it's Monday morning, it's about 7 o'clock. I'm just getting started. I'm going to go 154 paid miles to Stevenson, Alabama. Hauling paper, cardboard. So I'm here at the place. This is where I had to deliver to. This is Stevenson, Alabama. This is the receiver. I never film when I'm driving. That would get me fired. So unfortunately you'll never see any of the truck moving in my videos. But I'll show you lots of other stuff. So usually when I'm on my way to the receiver, I get a Qualcomm message that tells me where I'm going to go next. So that happened while I was on my way here. I can't check it while I'm driving. But once I get here, I check my messages. I see that next I'm going to go to Cookeville, Tennessee, from here in Stevenson, Alabama. That's going to be 108 paid miles for the empty move. And then they're from Cookeville, Tennessee up to Walton, Kentucky. That's going to be something 241 paid miles. So what Averitt does is they add that 241 to 108, so then that's 349. And since that's less than 400, Averitt's going to go ahead and pay the full 100. So they'll do that with any load that is under 400 miles, as long as you were the one who picked it up and you are also the one who delivers it. Sometimes you need to take a minute for yourself, and if you're lucky, you get to do it in a nice place right next to the highway. So that little stop that we made was between Stevenson, Alabama and Cookeville, Tennessee. So now we're here in Cookeville at the shippers for the next load that goes to Walton, Kentucky. This one's a drop and hook. I just backed in to where I'm going to drop the trailer. Right now we're going to get out and unhook the trailer. This part's easy, but it's kind of fun. Maybe I can do it one-handed. I've never tried to do it one-handed. I used to not like this stuff very much, but after a while I figured this is one of the rare opportunities you get to move your arms, and moving your arms is good for you, right? People go to the gym, they pay to do this kind of stuff. So update from yesterday. Today it's Tuesday now, so it's about it's after 3 o'clock, so I've been sitting here for a while at the Cincinnati yard, which is in Erlanger, Kentucky. Averitt's got a yard here. They call it a service center. They've got yards all over the South. I'll tell you more about all those later at some point in future videos. But anyway, so I'm still on the load that delivers in Walton, Kentucky, because that delivers today by 5:45, you may remember. I just found out now, just a little after 3, that this load can deliver early as a drop and hook, despite the fact that my messaging had told me before that very specifically that this could not be delivered early in any circumstances, which is why I've been sitting here all day long, trying to sleep and trying to get ready so that I can take a load at 11 o'clock from here to Houston, which also I was going to tell you about. So that was going to leave at 2300. I was hoping I could get that early, and then take that down to Houston, deliver in Houston by Thursday morning at 6 a.m., which is like a 33-hour window for a 1,050-mile trip, including the time change. So that all would have been doable, but nevertheless hard. So that's why I've been sitting around here trying to sleep all day long. And then just after 3 o'clock, I get my message. I get a phone call that says I need to deliver this now, which is, if you know anything about trucking hours, you know that's going to kind of mess up my trucking hours. So that now what they want me to do is deliver this thing, which is going to take 15 minutes. It's going to take me about an hour or two. So I'm not going to end up starting until about 1 o'clock in the morning tonight, after 8 hours of sleeper time. And that's supposed to get me down to Memphis. They said to get down there by about 7. That's not possible. So maybe I'll get down there by 10. I get a $100 bonus for driving this load. It's called an LTL load, which is a nice thing if you get it. Actually, the full one is $200, but now I have to split it with a guy because I'm not driving it all the way to Houston. I'm driving it to Memphis. So I get a $100 bonus for it, plus my 46 cents a mile. But it's not that worth it, considering the fact that I had to sit here all day and, you know, waste my work day prepping. You know, that load would have done me well. That would have been about $660 all said and done, including that $200 bonus. That would have been worth wasting my day here for. But wasting my day for half of that trip, you know, for a $330 load that gets me into Memphis by 10 a.m. tomorrow, and then I gotta sleep for 10 hours until 8 o'clock at night, and then maybe get another load, or probably not. Actually, probably just sleep there, because not that many loads, you know, go at that late at night. They don't pick up, so we'll see how it all works out, but that's how it stands now. And I'm about to go, I was going to go get a shower, but now I'm not going to go get a shower. So, you may have heard that message yelling at me, so that was telling me, giving me the official change of plan, I'm sure, which is to now, you know, so anyway, I'll update later. So good news, it's only been about 20 minutes, but during that time I had a chance to talk to my, at Averitt, we call them leadership, and got everything put back to the way that it was originally planned. So I pick up at 2300 here in Cincinnati at the service center where I'm at now, and I take to the Houston service center by Thursday at 6 a.m. That's a 33-hour window, so hopefully that's going to happen. It's 1,041 actual miles. That's 1,036 paid miles. So that's good news, and that allows me to start today at 5 p.m. and finish by 7 a.m. tomorrow at the latest. Hopefully, though, it'll be closer to 5 or 6. Ideal would be 5 a.m. Get all my driving in and finish at 5 a.m. Also, it would be pretty lucky if this load is ready a little bit before 2300. You know, 10, 10:30, anything earlier the better. Alright, I'm gonna go take a shower now. So I just wanted to get out of the truck for a change of scenery. We're here at the receiver. This is the load that started with the empty move in Stevenson, Alabama. We went there from there to Cookeville, and we went from Cookeville, Tennessee, here to Walton, Kentucky. And all of that together ended up being about 349 paid miles. As I mentioned before, anything under 400 that you pick up and deliver, Averitt bumps up to 400, so it's a 400 mile minimum. That plus the 154 mile load that we started the week with gets us to 554 paid miles at 6 o'clock on Tuesday. We started early on Monday morning, about 7 a.m. That's where we're at now. Next, we're going to go back to the service center in Cincinnati, which is actually in Erlanger, Kentucky, near the Cincinnati airport. And we're going to sit around for a bit, get some fuel, and then we're going to wait for our load that's supposed to be ready at 2300. We're hoping it's going to be a little bit early. So I'm about to start fueling. You see my truck behind me. I'm at the Averitt Service Center. Most of the service centers have fueling stations. I already dropped the trailer because it was empty, and I'm going to wait now about 4 hours until I pick up my trailer for Houston. here at Love's. It's 2:30 in the morning about. We're doing our half an hour break, which you have to do once every 11 hours of driving, because you're only allowed to drive 11 hours in a 14-hour period. And of that 11 hours, you can only do 8 in a row maximum. We haven't hit that yet, but you have to stop for a half an hour at some point, so that's what we're doing. For anybody that doesn't already know that. So I stopped here, get some coffee. This is where my break is. Oh, and I also wanted to say that tomorrow I'm going to do a little bit of working out, and I got to tell you guys that in order to make myself actually do it. So now I'm on the hook. That's it. Thanks very much. That was not much, but for me, it's hard to push myself to do that. Tried to make you guys push me to do that. It's not much. So I had 60 jumping jacks, 40 of those other things, 10 push-ups. So we're here in Houston at the Averitt Service Center in Houston. It's been an unusual week, being 2 days at service centers. Usually I'm not here that much, and I'm especially not here during daytime and sleeping then and waking up at 4. This is the first time I've done that. But I've done 2 sleep periods at Averitt service centers this week, and then 1 at Love's. In my future videos, I'll show you other places where I like to stay. I usually like to stay in out-of-the-way places. The service center here is next to the airport, so you can hear that plane going by, same as it was in Cincinnati. It seems like a lot of the service centers are next to airports. Right behind me over here is the fuel bay. I fueled up earlier. There's also a truck wash there. Some of the bigger service centers have a truck wash, which is nice. That's what keeps keeps the trucks looking clean. I'll tell you about my next load in a few minutes, not now. I already know. I know it's going to Atlanta. But what else did I need to tell you right now? I guess that's about it. It's leaving tomorrow morning. I have to wake up about 7. So I'm pretty much done for the night. I'm going to show you my pickup for tomorrow. So you can see Houston, Texas. There's the date. That's tomorrow, Friday. I can pick up between 8 and 3 o'clock. So that gives me some flexibility. I'm going to pick up as early as possible because I want to get home. So I went down to the Love's because it's going to be closer to my pickup tomorrow. It's also really cool in Houston because this Love's is right downtown. You get on this tram, and this tram actually takes you right downtown. So the Love's not right downtown, but it's really close. And a lot of cities aren't like that. So this is a good chance to see something if you ever have time. So here we are, downtown Houston. Let's check some stuff out. Let's look around. Let's see what's here. So I had a nice dinner last night. I only showed you one taco out of 3. Sorry about that. I wanted to also tell you I'm here in Houston at the pickup. It's a small, tight little space. Had to back in there from a 1-lane road on the blind side, which was kind of rough. You can see downtown Houston right over here. In order to get in there, I had to have help from the dock guys. They stopped traffic, and I also had to pull straight up into this driveway in order to get all the way back there. 30-minute break on an off-ramp in Louisiana. The load that I was taking to Atlanta from Houston got shortened, so that I'm going to go to Montgomery, Alabama, and drop this load at the service center there, and then take a load from there to my home base in Knoxville. That's kind of how they get you home every weekend, sometimes by jiggling things around. But that's good for me because it gets me home a little bit quicker, which at this stage is what I want, because it's Friday, about 5 o'clock. So this is where we're staying tonight. This is the Yellow Hammer in Alabama. That's the name of the truck stop. It's a nice place. It's a nice night. You can see I'm wearing a t-shirt. A few days ago, remember, we were in Cincinnati. It was really cold. I wanted to show you. It was like 21 degrees or something like that, maybe a little bit higher, but and now down here we're wearing a t-shirt. So, and it's a nice kind of out of the way spot. I'll wake up tomorrow and show you what it looks like when it's sunny. So it's morning, and I'm only taking this picture because I said I would, and I got my coffee, and we're gonna get going. So we're gonna go ahead and review our week. We started at the service center in Knoxville, Tennessee, went to Stevenson, Alabama for 154 miles, then from Stevenson to Cookeville, Tennessee. That was 108 for an empty move, plus 241 on to Walton, Kentucky, equal 349. Averitt paid us 400. From Walton, Kentucky to Erlanger, Kentucky, empty move. That was to the service center in Cincinnati, 11 miles. Then on to Houston, Texas, that's 1036 for a total of 1047. Houston to Montgomery, Alabama was 632 miles. Montgomery, Alabama service center to Knoxville service center to get back home was 329 miles. So you can see what that equals. You multiply by 46 cents, that's our mileage rate. Comes out to, you can see what it comes out to, 1,178, plus the $200 bonus for the Houston LTL load that went overnight, comes out to 1,378. And that was our total for the week. I'm at the Averitt yard in Montgomery, where I just showed you how much money was made for this week. I think I'm going to leave you right here because when I get home to Knoxville, unless something changes, I'm not going to do any more filming this week. That's because when I get home, I want to get right out of the truck. I want to go to my family, which means picking up my kid, and have my weekend. Thanks, though, for being with me. I'll be back next week. My name's Colin Thomas. Thank